everyone, it's Sarah from stampingwithlove.net. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today I thought I'd come on to show you how I make a never-ending card. This is the one that I made just recently for my mum, and it actually measures 8 inches by 8 inches squared, and it's using the Country Home stamp set and the coordinating Country Lane DSP. So I've chosen to open mine top and bottom, and you open it up to reveal the next layer of your card, and then you open it up again to reveal the next layer, and again, and that's essentially the back of my card, and then again and you're back to the beginning. And obviously it's called never ending because it just goes on and on. It's also known as an infinity card, but yeah, it's great fun to make and it's lovely to receive as well because you just have no idea what's coming next. So that's the card I made for my mum, and I thought today I'd show you exactly how I made it, but this time I'm going to be doing it in a 5" by 5" card, so that you can actually get your card base from one piece of A4 cardstock, which I think is brilliant. So if I put that to one side, I'm going to bring in my stamping trimmer and a piece of A4 crumb cake cardstock, and I'm going to just start by cutting this cardstock down to 5 inches by 10 inches. So that's my 10" by 5" piece of cardstock, and we're going to start by scoring at 1 1/4 on the short side, 1 1/4 inches on the short side. And then we're going to turn our card around and do exactly the same thing on the other side, scoring at 1 1/4 inches. Now we've done our scoring, we're going to divide this piece of cardstock into 4 equal pieces. Divide it essentially into quarters. So we're going to cut at 2.5 inch increments. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3, and then you've got your 4th piece as well. And that's all our cutting and scoring done. And what you should end up with is 4 pieces of cardstock that's now measuring 2.5 inches by 5 inches on the long side, and they should be more or less equal in size, which these are. And now we're going to reinforce our score lines. Once you've burnished and folded all your score lines, you're going to put your 2 pieces of cardstock, I'm going to flip them up that way, 2 on that side and 2 on that side. Okay, this just makes it easier for me to know exactly where I'm gluing, because I've done this a few times and I have glued it in the wrong place a couple of times. So I'm going to use Tombow for my glue, just because it helps me to be able to shift it about to get it into the right place. But you can obviously go for really strong adhesive like tear and tape. I don't think I would use snail just because I would be afraid that it might come apart. It's not as strong. And you're going to have about a 1 inch squared that you can glue on each corner. And that's what I'm going to start by doing here. Okay, so those are my 4 corners glued. what you need to do is you need to butt up your two pieces of cardstock together so that the score lines match up like that. And then you want to take your first piece that's been glued and make sure that the glue is at the top, and you want to adhere that piece to the left hand side of your two pieces of cardstock. Okay, and actually that's lined up quite nicely. And then you're going to do exactly the same on the other side, making sure the glued parts are going to be here and here. Butt up the pieces together, and line them up with that side. And that is the mechanism for your never-ending card, believe it or not. And you can see it's all nice and flush on both sides. Of course, the Tombow allows you to move it slightly if it's just out of sync in any way, but this looks pretty good to me. So now that's our base done, we can now reinforce our score lines. So what we're going to do is I start with the right hand side, and it just literally falls naturally back onto itself because of the scored lines that you've already put in, and we're just going to do that. Flip it around and do the same on that side. Flip it around and do the same on that side and on that side, and you're back to the beginning. And that's it. So that's your mechanism done, and it all works beautifully. It's completely up to you what side is going to be your front facing side. These cards do stand up, so they do stand up like that, which I think is really cute, because I do like having any birthday cards I get, any cards I get, I do like to actually display them. I just find that obviously if you make that your front panel, if the person you're giving it to wants to stand it up, they're not going to see the image together. So I actually prefer to open it top and bottom, because that way you can stand your card up like that and you will always see the top of your card as it's meant to be. So that's exactly what I'm going to do today. I am going to decorate it, but I've gone ahead and pre-cut and pre-stamped everything because I wanted to make this video nice and quick for you to watch. So to decorate your card now, I love my layers, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Obviously you could get your DSP and stick it straight onto your panels if you wanted to, do it that way and keep it simpler. I like to have a matte layer. So my first mat is squared, and it's obviously going to lay on top of my square panel here, and that's been cut out of soft seafoam cardstock, and that's going to be the base for all of my panels, and that's been cut at 2 1/4 inches by 2 1/4 inches with a layer of DSP on top, and that's been cut at 2 inches by 2 inches. Another piece for your side panel, and that's been cut at 1 inch by 2 1/4 inches with a piece of DSP that measures 3/4 inch by 2 inches. And then if we just flip it to the next part, you'll see you've got these 4 corner squares, and I've cut a piece of soft seafoam cardstock at 1 inch by 1 inch with a piece of DSP cut at 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch. So that's basically going to be my panels as I lay them throughout the whole card. The suite I'm going to be using to decorate my card is coming from Tropical Chic. It's an absolutely beautiful suite. I've not used it until now, even though I've had it sitting on my shelf for absolutely ages. There's just been so many exciting things to use, and I've been concentrating at the moment. I'm all about Christmas. It's a really gorgeous stamp set, and and the coordinating dies, which are the tropical finlets dies, give you all these beautiful leaf parts, the actual detailed part of the vein of the leaf, and then obviously the outer part cuts out the shape of the leaf. So I've done one of those for the inside of my card, and obviously that one cuts out my flower image, which is the only stamp I'm going to be using to decorate this card today. And I've gone ahead and pre-cut all of my flowers out in advance. And then I'm also using the Tropical Chic Designer Series paper. These are the papers that I'm using. And the colours on these papers that I'm using today are going to be Granny Apple Green, Shaded Spruce and Soft Sea Foam. And if I just flip the papers over, you can see what exactly comes in the stack. It comes with Blushing Bride and obviously Black and White as the other three colours in the pack. It's a really lovely pack of paper cut at 6 inches by 6 inches. But those are the three I'm going to be using today. And again, I've gone ahead and pre-cut all of my pieces out. I just wanted to show you the paper. And for the stamps, I needed obviously to keep my sentiments quite small because the panels at 5 inch by 5 inch card aren't that big. So I'm using the Darling Label punch box for my stamps and my punching. And I'm going to be using Happy Birthday Friend, Best Wishes for the card today. And also what comes in that set, it's a beautiful set. It comes in a gorgeous Night and Navy and silver tin. Oh, it's a Night and Navy and gold tin, that's it. And it comes with this stamp set, this punch, and 2 stamping spots, which I think is just a brilliant kit if you're on the move, if you're going away for the weekend and you want to just do some quick cards in your spare time. It's a fantastic kit to travel with, and I think the stamps are really sweet as well. So that's basically what I'm using today. So I'm going to start by decorating the panels of my card, and I'm going to do this on quick speed so you don't have to sit here watching me glue everything down, and I'll be back afterwards. it. My card's complete. As you can see, I've layered the soft sea foam and the tropical chic DSP on every single panel, and I've literally just used my hibiscus flower stamp from the tropical chic stamp set to create all these gorgeous rainbow coloured flowers. And the stamps from the Darling label punch box work beautifully on these panels. They're just the perfect size. I've die cut the best wishes out using stitched all around die cut, the circle one, which I don't have to hand at the moment, but it will be everything that I've used today will be on links to the video, attached to the video below, and you can also find everything on my blog. And then on the final panel of the card, I've just included one blank piece of cardstock for me to write my message on. So I mean, I think that's just gorgeous, and I think the suite works beautifully together. If you are interested in purchasing any of the products that I've used on the video today, you can do so by clicking on the link in my description below, or going to my blog, stampingwithlove.net, and you can go to my online store there, which is 24 hours, and you can buy any of the products or have a look at them in greater detail, and the descriptions on there if you want to know anything else. And thank you very much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.